Okay, this is MGBEasy, and this is John Parody for our first profile interview. This is my grandfather, and probably the one that got us into MGs. We're here to do a driver profile, and please tell us about the MG you currently own.
I currently own a 1967 MGB that I restored probably 12 years ago now, but I continue to do little upgrades on it.
All right.
And it's in the best shape it's ever been.
All right. Have you owned any others before that one?
I've owned two other MGBs and an MGA.
All right.
The first MGB I restored when your father was 16, and that became his car.
Oh.
And he proceeded to total it in Oklahoma several years later. The next one was a 66 MGB that I restored, and his sister totaled that one in an accident where somebody turned in front of her as I had just finished restoring it. So I took and bought that one back from the insurance company and found the one I have now and used that as a parts car to restore the one I'm driving now.
Which one was your favorite?
The one I've got right now.
That one?
Yeah.
Why?
It's got quite a few modifications that are not stock.
Yeah.
It has tube shocks instead of the knee action shocks that are standard. It has an adjusted camber to provide a little better steering. It's got a cruise control. It's overdrive, which is nice with the speeds that people travel today, and an alarm system. So it's just, and it's got a top of the line top on it as well.
All right. Cool. What advice will you give someone who wants to buy an MG?
Look for one that's rust free if you can. Find a California car is the usual expression. But there's a lot of them out there, and they're very reasonably priced.
All right. Any current owners, like what advice would you give them?
Maintain them. Don't let them deteriorate anymore. They're becoming rarer. The value is going up. A good restored early MGB can sell for upwards of $10,000. So they've come a long way from when they were new at $1,500.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you've gone on some just drives in the MG, right?
Yes.
Tell us about your favorite drive you've taken in one.
I don't know that I have a favorite drive. I've done rallies, which is always fun, and gone to some of the British car shows and MG shows and things of that nature. I enjoyed driving up into the Angeles Forest on a regular basis when I was visiting a friend that lived up there. And that was fun to drive the mountain roads.
All right. Is an MG a good starting car for a teenager?
An early MG is, because it is fairly a simple automobile. Doesn't have all the smog stuff that's on the later years. And prior to '67, the suspension was lower to the ground and it handled better. So yeah, it's a good car.
So have you made any modifications to your MG?
Well, I've done a couple of things. One, I've put in hardened valve seats because of the unleaded gas that we have today. And the other thing is I've replaced the SU carburetors with a Weber carburetor, which is just an easier carburetor to maintain and provides a little better performance.
All right. What's the hardest thing you've had to fix on an MG?
Oh dear. Well, recently I solved a long-standing problem on early MGBs known as the MGB clunk. And it took me 2.5 days to do that, and I needed somebody to help me. Now that may have something to do with that I've gotten a little older and not as agile as I used to be, because that required a lot of under-the-car kind of work.
All right. Thank you. That is all we have for today.
Thank you.
If everybody had